Cigar Think Tank Live. This episode's talking Cigar Madness Tourney recap. Recorded on location at Smoke Inn, West Palm Beach, Florida. Now here are your hosts, Matt and Mike.
Cigar Madness Tourney 2012. I know. So here we are. We're shooting out to the final four, and we're down to the final two.
The final two, we call that the championship round.
Oh yeah, championship round. So
We don't call it the final two.
I know, and I'm. It's sad too because we saw some of our favorites. They're all our favorites. But we saw some of our favorites really go down in the last round. Like it's killer.
Well, I say that, but I mean, yeah. It's
Interesting because I know Jaime Limited
Yeah.
and San Latano were neck and neck. Like he was like 50-50 the whole time. It was
Yeah.
like it was like a nail biter.
Sure.
Came down to that buzzer beater.
San Latano pulled away in the last few minutes because I think Jaime had to foul. You know what I mean? So it just got out of control. But Jaime Limited came in at 46.2, which obviously leaves San Latano at 58. I can't talk. 40 math. At 53.8.
You know, I think happened too. The Jaime was such a favorite all the way through. It just cruised through the tournament that they got tripped up by the Cinderella this year.
Yeah, I think maybe, and also, you know, maybe people think they had to come back and vote for it.
Well, I don't need to vote for them. You know,
But-
they're gonna be great. Yeah.
But to be fair, I mean, San Latano, we call it a Cinderella, but it really isn't a kind of turning women's tournament where it pretty much went chalk.
Right.
And San Latano was a 2 seed.
Right. And which bracket were they in?
It was in the Kennedy bracket.
Came out of the Kennedy bracket.
Yeah. So San Latano came out of the Kennedy bracket. The Jaime was in the Churchill.
So
it was a political battle.
it was.
But anyways, that was a good one. Jaime Limited is my favorite cigar all year long.
Agreed.
Okay.
Mine too.
My favorite cigar all year long. Dollars for donuts, price, whatever. Favorite cigar.
Yeah.
The San Latanos is my favorite cigar the last 2 months.
Agreed. It's really hit big.
It's hit big.
You know what? It peaked at the right time. Just like look at the teams. It peaked at the tournament time, man.
It
Peaked
did.
at the tournament time.
It did, but really, I mean, honestly, I
Came right
find myself going to humidors, big humidors,
Yeah.
whatever humidor it is, and just gravitating towards the San Latano.
Yep.
I talked about it on the show last week with
It's my aspiration.
and it's just true. I mean, AJ Fernandez did a really good job.
He did. It was an awesome blend. He did a really good job. The oval is really the one that I probably had the most out of the blends. And, that's the one that's in the tournament.
Right.
Yeah.
The Maduro pops really soon. The other Maduro, that was the oval Maduro, pops soon. The other San Latano Maduro wasn't as big of a fan of.
Right.
But still very good. You gotta forgive us. We're out at a live on location here.
On location, Smoke Inn,
So you
West Palm
see,
Beach.
we've got, it's a retirement area. You know what I'm saying? And then in the other bracket of the final four, it wasn't as close.
Yeah, it really wasn't as close.
And you want to talk about somebody powering through the tournament? The drone just absolutely.
64 Imperial, man. Maduro, it's an awesome smoke.
Yeah. I mean,
If you haven't had it, you should.
The 20.
If you can find it.
Yeah. The 26 went out of bidding.
It did. It
2
was.
rounds ago,
You can't repeat. It won last year. 26 Maduro won last year.
Yeah.
You can't repeat.
And here's where you had a little bit more exciting on it as far as more of a Cinderella, if you will, but it's so popular with the young online type generation.
Right.
Is the Tatuate.
I'll tell you what. It did really well.
The Capa Especial, the 7th, it was a, let me see, it was a 4 seed. Yeah, breaking news. It was a 4 seed in the Salone region. So that was impressive that
It went all the way.
It pushed through. I mean, a 4 seed's relatively slow enough where a Final Four matchup is considered a big win for them.
Oh, agreed. I mean, they totally, not to be expected. It's a great stick. And like you said, you got a lot of votes this year. People rolled out for the Tatuate. They really showed them some love.
It had a couple tough matchups along the way, but it did pull through. And then, obviously the Maduro and Imperial Maduro just dominated the base. And in this round, it went.
Said, "I'll be back."
In this round, it went 66, I think, to 33.
That was one of its closer of the tournament, actually.
Yeah.
One of its closer matchups.
Yeah, I mean, it went one round.
Yeah, so it did
that was
really well.
The Sweet 16 round. So here we are. We're in the finals of the finals.
Finals of finals. I think we're going to come back in just a minute, and we're going to give you who we think is going to be the champion Alright, so here we are, we're back. We can do a quick recap of the tourney and then give you what our pick for the champion is going to be. So, Mike, starts off in round one. What were your key matchups or upsets, or what kind of jumped out at you?
Well, I mean, the first round, as is predictable, was pretty predictable. There wasn't anything huge. I mean, you had the 1964 Maduro Padron Hill CAO 90 to 10. I'm rounding here. Jaime Limited got the Cigar HC Series 92 to 8. As far as close matchups going, I'm looking down here as we talk. The 601 La Bamba and the Tourney, the Avo 787. That one was pretty close. You had Avo pulled it out 56-44. You know, the Brick House of Robusto lost 42 to 57 to the Rocky Patel 15th anniversary, which I mean was expected. I would say one of the surprises as far as just playing close was a 16 seed, the Bad Dog Cigar.
Yeah. From right around the corner.
Little company out of Western Florida. I mean, they hung in there. They lost 37 to 62, 63, but it was closer than that for most of the round.
Right.
So, you know, part of it pulled away towards the end. I think that's partly because it's a Cuban cigar and we smoked it. But I felt like that was relatively even because not a lot of people smoked the Bad Dog even.
Right.
So, but we want to go to round two.
Alright, round two, a couple of things here. Our first ever 100% winner.
Crazy.
Jaime Garcia, 100%. Dark World Challenge 0.
And clarify this for me, Matt, being the tech guy. That doesn't mean that literally 100% of the people voted for it. It could have been a couple, but because it registered less than 1%,
Correct.
it rounds.
It rounds.
So there may have been one or two votes for that, but because there was over, well over 100,
right.
200, 300, 400
I'll
votes
give you a
for that.
perfect example then. Here we go. 50-50 Drew Estate T52 against Lido Gomez, small batch number 4. Shows up 50-50. T52 just barely edged him out, like 0.03%. That's just insane.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
With over like 200 or 300 votes on that one alone.
Right.
You're talking about what, like a couple of votes.
Right. Another 50-50 Rocky Patel 15th, Room 101 Limited. Same kind of scenario there. The other big ones. Everything else was like 70.
Yeah, and that one, the Rocky Patel pulled out.
Yeah, Rocky pulled that one out. Everything else, of course, San Latano, cruised through against the Pepin Blue Label, which is a great stick. EP Crillo moved on. So, I mean, for the most part, those are the shortest of the two going in there.
Alright, so we got round 3 here, and that's where it really gets interesting.
It does.
Okay, that's what we call, the sweet 16s that we know it as. That's where it really gets interesting. Padron, 1964 Imperial Maduro still kept pushing through with Pete. Room 101 out, 75-25. So that was a big one. That was actually the biggest win, the biggest blowout of them all. The next one was Fuente Opus X losing, which that was a final four last year.
It was a final four.
I mean, I don't know. It lost to Jaime Limited 2011, which is the best cigar, if you ask me. Money can buy. At least for a while there. And then here's another really close matchup to go off the other one. T52 was a 50-50 last time.
Right.
It didn't do much worse this time. Came with 47.1% of the vote. Plus, to the My Father Limited Edition 2011. Okay, so that was big. The 2010 version was way higher up last year. That was good. And then another one that was big that will prove interesting later is the San Latano had a close match here. 53.3% to 46.7 against the EP Crillo Limited 2000. Could have been because it was a limited, but
I'll tell you, that's really what made it. That's what pushed it on. And
that was a close one for sure.
Great. So lead 8, no shockers here. We had no shockers at all.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's really crazy. I mean,
unlike the Sweet 16 where it was everything was close.
Yeah, Padron 64, Imperial over the My Father Limited, 2011, 67, 33, Tatuate, 67, Padron 1926, last year's champion, 67, 38. Then on the other side, Jaime Garcia Limited 2011, 80.9 to 11.1 over the Action VSG, which
which is crazy because the VSG is a good cigar. But I will say this: the VSG got a good run through the bracket. They had good matchups.
They did have good matchups. And then San Latano, 88.9, 11.1 over the party and Series B. I think that was so far too. San Latano, great stick, very popular recently. Vargas Series B, Cuban. Not a lot of people probably smoke that cigar.
Has the name brand recognition.
It does, but
It's rated high aficionado.
right. But that's just one of those where I think people go with something that they smoke.
Right. And people are talking about it a lot now.
Right. So those kind of cruising through there, and then we got down to the final four. So
The final four, you kind of had a little bit of both. You had a blowout, and you had a.
Yep.
So we'll talk about this a little bit more because it's the final four. But you had the Padron 1964 Imperial Maduro up against the Tatuate 7th Kappa Especial.
right.
Okay. The Padron killed him. I mean, 66.7 to 33.3. I mean, that's a good old-fashioned slack.
It is.
And I think this is where young meets old, mainstream meets, mainstream meets whatever you see
the power of the blog.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's where the power of the blog ran out. Because the Padron is widely smoked by everybody.
Yep.
The Tatuate is not.
Correct.
And then you had the Jaime Limited and the San Latano with a 46.2 to a 53.8. That one was in favor of the San Latano Oval.
And that's close, man. I mean, that's one of those where
We talked about that match. I think it's going to be an interesting one on Kiss My Ass Radio last week.
Right.
And I think actually that's when Jaime was up.
Yep. They were up just barely. So I think that we really saw a change over those last couple days.
But I mean, that one's going to be one of your closer fights to the finish.
Right.
I thought that was impressive. And that was a 1 and 2 seed going up against each other, where the Kappa and the Maduro were a 1-4. So for a 4 seed making the final four is nothing to be ashamed of.
No.
Yeah, so that was a big win
Great
for
run
Tatuate.
this year. Yeah, great run for
And I will say this, and correct me if I'm wrong, but no boutique, and I guess they're really not so much boutique, but no boutique-ish, blog-ish cigar made it to the final four.
Nope. This is really this new territory for us. And this is a great matchup now in the finals for the championship. The last one burning this year. We got the Padron 64 Imperial Maduro, San Latano Oval. Who you got? We just told everyone earlier how close it was right now with 2 days. Almost 2 days left till Sunday.
Yeah, I think interestingly enough, and this may say something about the cigar smoker, they're very similar cigars as far as how they are.
It is. That's crazy.
A lot of it's the wrapper, the size. They're very, very similar cigars. I'm gonna go with the San Latano. Okay, and I don't know about you. Here's my reasoning. I'll tell you why. The Padron is the name. Okay, so that's gonna carry. It's a great cigar. San Latano's not. But that being said, for the price, I can probably get a Latano and a half or 2 Latanos for a Padron.
I think you can. It's pretty close.
And the pound flavor is so close. Which one's better is a toss.
It's a toss-up.
But
It really is.
From a value, from what the average smoker, I mean, a cigar that's under the $10 price point to a cigar that's in the 14 to 16 to 18 range. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the name will carry him through, but I think the San Latano Oval is going to be your diaper game.
You know what?
That's a freshman team coming in.
It is, and I think maybe I don't want to give it the green jinx or anything, but I would have to agree with you, and I would pick them this year too. I don't think we're going to see 2 Padrones win in 2 years.
Wouldn't be surprising.
Wouldn't be surprising.
And to be fair, at this point, the Padron is up.
They are
By
up.
how much, I don't know that
I
answer.
mean, we've seen San Latano make the last second push
2 times.
2 times now.
So
They're used to the close matchup, so I think they're going to pull it out. I think they will. This is the last weekend of voting.
44 hours.
44 hours. Let's get it in now. Get your votes in. I think we're going to give away some prizes for anyone who's voting in this last round. So
Forgive me on my 48 hours and my 2 full days. We have to end this. So probably a day by the time you see it.
probably a day. So get your votes in there. Go to the website. Click on Cigar
Sometimes I
Madness
wonder
Tourney
why
right there at the top. Yeah, I know. Live stuff. So make sure you get your votes in this year. Thanks for all your support out there. Another great tourney by Cigar Think Tank. Cigar Madness Tourney 2012.
So go in the final round, and we'll see you next year for the 2013.
Yeah. See you guys then.